At this point I've worked 47 of the 48 crochet, and I just cut because I'm going to tie off and switch colors. Actually, I'm going to work the first half of the 48 stitch before I do this. So working the first half of that double crochet, and then we're going to tie on this other color, this beautiful vibrant purple, and I just tie real tight in there, 1 knot and then 2 knots, so it's not going anywhere. It's going to be holding a very heavy water bottle, so I'm opening the ends here and fraying them, and then I'm going to work the second half of that double crochet, and you can see it still looks totally green, and we're going to join with a slip stitch. Pull it tight, otherwise you'll see purple in the row below. I'm going to chain 2. Oops, I got part of it in there. And at this point, I'm just going to pull the strings to the side here, and we will hide those just in the process of crocheting, which is pretty handy. I only chained 1. Chaining 2, and then we're just going to repeat that popcorn stitch and the 2 double crochet. Basically, we're just going to repeat rows 8 and 9 until we get as high as we want to go for your water bottle, and then I'll show you how to do the straps. So we're going to popcorn stitch. You don't have to change colors. You don't have to have a million colors like I chose. You could go back and forth with like 2 colors. I mean, the sky is the limit. Customize this to how you want it to be. So you can see how fun it gets to be with just having different colors. I like the different colors. And you'll just hide the thread in that process. So I will come back when I have it the length I want it to be. We're going to go ahead and chain 2. And we're going to work a popcorn stitch. So right here next to the chain, and I'm going to pull those yucky threads that we have to hide to the side. So popcorn stitch is 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet all in the same hole. We've got 4 in the same hole at that point, and then I'm going to put my hook in at the very beginning, double crochet, and grab that loop and join it. Alright, and then we're just going to work 2 regular double crochet, 1 in each space. So 1, 2, that's what we're looking right now, and then in the next space we're going to work 1 more popcorn stitch. So 1, my yarn is catching. We have 1 in there, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to join loop with the slip stitch. Okay, and then to finish off this row, we're just going to work 1 more regular double crochet in the next space. Okay, now we have to get where we can work on the other side of this. So we're going to chain 2 and turn, and then we're just going to work 5 double crochet across. And these 2 rows are what you're going to be repeating over and over and over again. Losing count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And always hard to get in the end one. Why does it have to be so annoying? And 5. Okay, so then we're going to chain 2 and turn again. And then we will just keep repeating. So popcorn, 2, 3, 4, Okay, so remember, popcorn, 2 double crochet, popcorn, 1 double crochet, and then the row of the 5 double crochet. Just keep repeating rows 1 and 2. Look at the pattern. Maybe seeing it written out is less confusing, but we are going to go until I get to the length. You can make this whatever length you want. You might just want a really short handle that you hold with your hand, but I wanted a strap that can go over my daughter's shoulder, so I'll show that in a minute. But first I have to crochet this really long strap, so we'll be back. Well, if you're me, that took multiple days because I didn't have very much time yesterday. And we got the chain done. Now remember, I'm doing 36 here, so if you count the popcorn, just a regular double crochet row, I did it 36 times of those 2 rows repeated. But, you know, like, what if you're making this for an adult size? Whatever. Make sure it looks good on you. So you're going to be sewing with this thread, so don't cut like right here. Give yourself plenty of space. You don't want to have to hide multiple threads here. So I'm tying that off. And then we're going to do that same thing again. The whole centering thing. So, centering, no twists. So long, and then we're going to turn, whoop, and it's all beautifully lined up for us. And I'm going to pinch these 2 together and open that up. And it's just like sewing, but we don't need a needle. You can use a needle if you want, but I would not recommend using thread because there's a lot of weight that's going to go on this point, and yarn is much stronger than thread, much thicker. And I'm just going like the 2 loops here, the 2 loops on top there, and I'm just going to go back and forth. At this point I'm going to try pulling this open, and you can see like there's our thing where we sewed, and I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight, but I don't want to have like a seam here that's bulky, so that's why I opened it up. And just going back and forth. I keep turning it because it's easier to push it through that way. Although if you're fancy, you can push the hook through backwards and not have to turn it. Now I want to do it just because I talked about being fancy. We'll see. Oh, just because I talked about being fancy, and now I can't resist. You could put your hook through backwards. See? Although this is the trickiest one to do it on it, because it's the chain that I'm having to go through here. So that is how you would not have to turn your project if you don't want to turn your project. And now I just feel cool because I did that. It's hard to feel cool when you're a mom that has 3 kids. Let me have this. Just let me have this moment. Okay. Now, this isn't quite white enough, so I'm actually going to go over one more. It just doesn't look totally finished to me because it got scrunched when I was putting it in. And then I'm going to bring this back up. And that just made it look whiter, if you see the difference there. So you don't have to do that. And then on the back end here, look at the inside of the strap where you won't notice. I'm going to tie it off again. Don't just go straight into hiding the thread because that whole seam, that's the whole weight of the project. So you could tie it once, you could go crazy, I'll tie it again, and then, and only then, will we hide the thread. So snip it a little bit shorter, open the end, and all my models are asleep, so we're gonna have to turn this into a 3-day video, I guess, because I can't show you what it looks like on someone when they're asleep. I think children need to have normal sleeping hours. Who thought of that? Oh wait, it was me, because it's my only alone time. Okay, and just keep going back and forth until it's completely hidden. I may be too short on that one. I dropped my crochet hook. Admit it, you love my gaudy bright colors. I think my daughter did a wonderful job on picking out colors. I only had to help a little. And there you go. We've got our awesome water bottle purse. I can't speak. And, you know, just changing the colors gets totally different results. We can be bright neons or pastels, or you could do it in earth tones, something more dignified, you know, if you want to be, you know, dignified. I'm gonna be the 80-year-old that still wears neons and, you know, bright colors. That's just gonna be me. I've seen it. It's not the most flattering way to get old, but I've seen it and I respect it, and that's where I'm going. Anyway, that's the finished product. Once again, go back to Modern Homemakers. I'll try to put a link in the description. If not, you can just search on the site. It's a free pattern. Go check it out. And if you're, you know, trying to get everything ready for school, you're looking for patterns that would help with school, I have a free crochet book bag. I have, what else do I have in there? Oh, I have a little puppy dog lunchbox I did last year. I have a sewing tutorial for a pencil pouch. Just look around on the channel. There's lots of stuff to help get you ready for school. All right, one last close up here. Here's the finished product. And she keeps moving it to the front, but you can move it more to the side if you want. It's your purse. You can put it wherever you want. And obviously you don't have to put a water bottle if you just like the purse. You know, put whatever you want in there. But we did a water bottle because that's what we needed to carry our stuff to school. Say bye-byes.